I see some that your foot's not that well. What happened there?
Yeah, so I think it was in the first round. I could be wrong on that, but he went to take me down on the fence. My toe got caught in between the cage, so the web of my toe had to get stitches. It's got a nice little cut on the on in between my toes. So I got hit a couple times and I got stitches. That figures, right?
When was that? The first round?
I think it was the first round. I'm not 100% sure on that. It was whenever he tried to take me down on the fence. I'm pretty sure it was the first round. Maybe second, but I lost my footing and I tried to catch, and when I went to post, my toes went in between the cage. So par for the course. It's part of the sport, you know. So
Did that bother you during the fight, or was you just noticed that in the end?
I noticed it in the fight. In between the rounds, I looked down and seen blood on the mat. But I mean, like you got far bigger things to worry about, so it's not a big deal, you know.
Did the fight go exactly as you were expecting, or did you foresee something different?
Yeah, no, the fight went just about exactly how I thought it would. I knew he would come down and try to come out and try to use his jiu-jitsu because he's been knocked out a couple times as of late. I knew he would come out and try to use his jiu-jitsu this time. And I knew he would slow. I knew he'd get tired. I'm known for carrying a good pace through 15 minutes. So I knew if I just stayed on him and kept my pace going, I would find the punch, and I felt like I would finish him with a knee or I thought it was going to be a knee or an elbow, but the right hand works too. So it really went just exactly how my team and I planned it to go.
What was going through your mind while he was doing those antics on the ground, just laying there, asking you to go to the ground with him? I think it was in the third round. He was just moving sideways, just chilling there.
I think I called him a pussy.
Yeah.
I mean, man, when I get out there, I like to talk shit, and it helps me get going. And you know, like whenever they start to do antics like that, I take it as disrespect, whether it is or it isn't. I'm gonna take it that, and we'll figure it out later. So. I don't blame him. I would have tried to entice me to go to the ground with him too. So I went to the ground with him in the first. I reversed him. He was on top of me, didn't do anything. I reversed him, got on top. I didn't feel anything. I'm a black belt too. I'm a first-degree black belt. You know, he's not the only black belt in the UFC. So I respect him a ton. I respect his ground game a ton. But I feel like it's my time. His time is came and gone, and I feel like it's my time now.
You are also a black belt, but he's a world champion in pure jiu-jitsu. Were you confident? I mean, I can go there and submit him as well, or you're just gonna avoid his jiu-jitsu and keep it standing?
Look. He's a world champion in jiu-jitsu, and in no way am I disrespecting his skills. He obviously is a phenomenal grappler, but he's not the first world champion jiu-jitsu guy that I've grappled or fought. You know what I mean? So this is not grappling. This is not jiu-jitsu. This is MMA, and the guard doesn't mean anything when you can drop elbows and hammer fists on people. So no, I felt like I could grapple with him. The one place I didn't want to be was in half guard because I feel like he's got a really good deep half series that he could sweep well, and he almost swept me with it. So I felt comfortable in guard, and I knew that if I could just keep the scramble going, I knew he would eventually stop trying to wrestle with me and let me work back up, which like I said, it went exactly how I thought it would.
And your reaction after the fight, just asking exactly that. What's the reason behind that? I mean, they chanted that they wanted you to die, but I mean, is that something you were planning on doing? I mean, no. I think is that something you were planning on ready to do, or just fast in the moment to do it?
You can't come talk shit to me and not eat your words. It doesn't work like that. If you're gonna talk shit, I love it, man. I love the crowd. I love the energy, and I don't care if they're cheering for me or booing me. But you can't talk shit to me, and then whenever it gets turned around, you're not gonna hear from me. You're gonna hear every word I got to say about it. So, you know, and it's no disrespect. You know what I mean? Everybody, the Sao Paulo, everybody here has been nothing but great to me all week long. So I expected to come into this. I wanted to hear that. You know what I mean? Like I've been wanted to. It's a challenge that I feel like some people fold under the pressure with, and I really wanted to feel that energy and that atmosphere because Brazilian fans are some of the best fans in all the sport. You know, it's a fight culture, and I wanted to feel it. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna talk shit, you're gonna hear me too. You know what I mean? That's so like just be quiet. You know, you talk shit to the next American, not me.
You know which welterweight from the U.S. that came here to the same arena, beat a jiu-jitsu black belt, and did the same thing and became a big star in the UFC?
I do not know who that is.
Yeah, Kobe Covington. That's exactly when and where he turned the table. Yeah, Damian Maia here in this same arena. Do you think that this win gonna put you in another level in the UFC as well?
Yeah, I mean, yes, absolutely. I feel like that. I feel like whenever I decide to move forward, that I feel like it's pretty obvious. I mean, 6 wins in a row. I don't know where else. I don't know what else. The top 15 is pretty obvious, I think. So, we'll see. Like I said, I told them earlier. I hate talking about the future because I dedicate so much of my life. I mean, I've been on the road. I have a newborn son that's almost 2 months old. I've barely seen him. I've been on the road so much, so I feel like I dedicate. I need to dedicate time to my family and spend time with them, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about the future. I know you guys are trying to, find out what's next for the winter and stuff like that, but I hate to even talk about that because I've lost so much time. I haven't seen my son hardly at all, and I'm just ready to get home to my family. I haven't seen him in forever, and yeah, man, it's all worth it though. You know what I mean? Like nights like tonight make it all worth it.
2 months is basically your entire training camp. How hard was it to stay focused knowing that your baby is there?
Yeah, well, I'm not just a fighter. I'm a coach too, and I was in Australia coaching Megan Anderson. I was in Boston coaching Sean Woodson. I went to Denver for my training camp. I have Grant Dawson on January 18th that I'll be with in Vegas. So like I'm on the road almost every weekend coaching as well. So it's not just a fight thing. It's a coaching thing also. So I have a really good team at home of guys that get me ready. And I go out to Factory X Muay Thai with Mark Montoya. I can't even begin to this is a whole nother interview, but like I haven't lost since I've joined that gym. So he's a great leader to me, and the dude knows how to pull the absolute best out of me, and I can't thank him enough. He's been a huge. I mean, he has been like the X factor in my success. We click together. He pulls the best out of me. And it's hard to find. I've never found a coach like him before, and it means a lot. It means a lot to me to be able to perform for him and for everybody here.
You talked about, we know that you're a coach and you wear many hats, and you've talked about how you didn't really need to take fights at this point. You take them because you want to. And I think a lot of people were a little bit puzzled because you were on the streak and Sérgio was on a bit of a slump. And then still he's a challenging guy. He has great jiu-jitsu. And then you came all the way over to Brazil to fight him. So it seemed it's an interesting decision. What enticed you to even take this fight?
Well, first of all, the butcher can only slaughter the animals brought to him. So I'm not really picking like who I'm fighting. That name came across my phone, and that was actually who I was supposed to fight last. So I was scheduled to fight Sergio in Lincoln, Nebraska. I ended up fighting Warley Alves instead, and something happened with Sergio's visa or something like that. So they offered the name again, and I feel like that the UFC and I feel like the general public views me as a striker, which I could see why after tonight. But I predominantly came up in a grappling background, so I kind of switched that whenever, I think the fans want to see knockouts, right? I think the fans want to see knockouts, they want to see finishes. And they haven't really matched me with any jiu-jitsu people, and the best jiu-jitsu guy that I've ever fought is just like a regular black belt. So when a three-time world champion comes across, when that name comes across your phone, like I think it kind of gives me an X factor. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh, it's a shiny thing in the corner that it's really cool for me. So I wanted to test myself against a solid grappler and a veteran like Sergio.
And you touched on this a little bit, the Brazil factor. That's something that it's an interesting crowd. But then at the same time, like you said, you have a baby at home and there's travel involved. How did Brazil factor in? Were you excited when they said Brazil, or did you would you prefer it if it hadn't been here?
I typically don't fight out of the country because, when you do that, you automatically give up 15 to 30% in taxes, right? Like Brazil used to double tax. They no longer have that, which is the reason why I came here this time. I've been offered numerous fights here. I'm just not going to take a pay cut to come across the world to fight somebody. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense for me to do that because they don't give us a pay increase to cover that. So now that that's lifted, I came here and I feed off that energy. That energy, it doesn't mean anything to me. You know what I mean? Like my coach, he said it best. He's like, somebody asked, like, what are they saying on the chant? He goes, they're cheering for you. Like I know what they're saying, but it's funny, and I feed off of it. I don't care if you're cheering for me or if you're booing me. Like, look, man, I know they're gonna say it. I hear it when I see it on TV. I become a fan of it, right? Like I wanted to feel that energy and that atmosphere. And like I said before, Brazil is a fight culture, and they're full of some of the best fans in all of MMA. So I feel like I've had 60 plus fights, pro and amateur. I've been doing this for 13 years. I feel like it's only fitting that I had to come here at least once and fight.